Hi, I'm Karanvir, and I'm delighted to know that I've been selected in the 13th Bangalore Shorts Film Festival 2024. I'm really happy that as a first time filmmaker, I've been given a chance to showcase my film on this prestigious platform. So, for the idea of this film, I have been writing short stories since as long as I can remember. So this story, the Stapler, which was not its original title, I wrote it like a year back. And the drive for this story was motherhood, which is the primary theme for this film. I could make it into something more bigger. I think curiosity and observance are the main ingredients here, and these are just really simple ideas picked up from everyday life and just then altered into something much more bigger and expressive. The roadblocks that I first faced while working on this story was again the draft, the story. So there are at least 6 or 7 drafts for this story because I wrote it as a very basic storyline, but then I thought I could maybe add some more layers and make it more meaningful for the audience as well. So I decided to give it time and work on it. And in like 4 to 5 months, I had like 3 to 4 drafts. So strengthening the story was one thing. About managing the human and financial resources of this film production. So the human, I mean the casting and the crew was a simple call. Like for the crew, I knew people that I thought would contribute at their very best for this film. And about the casting, as Kriti and Navya are in the lead roles and all the only roles. So about that, it was very last minute, not in a very good way. As in, I was struggling with the casting because like I wasn't sure about the if I would get the people I preferred according to the correct character. So that was definitely a brainer. But then I had confidence in the people I selected, and it turned out pretty well, I guess. The problems that I faced while shooting the film were really not problems. I wouldn't term them as problems. They were more of a learning experience, surely. And I'm really grateful to my team for just supporting me all the way through. And it was like an easy ride because like everybody worked to their core and helped me develop this film. The main problem I had was with the opening scene, the kitchen one, where I had to show the raw form of the mother, and I was having difficulty in choreographing it, as in blocking and stuff, because I was very clear about the other scenes, the what visuals I wanted, but the kitchen scene was a tricky one because it's like it's a long scene, and I had to capture the mundanity of it and also the raw core of the character in it. So yeah, I think the kitchen one was tough to was a little tricky to choreograph, but I think my AD and like everybody did a great job in that. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting question. Originally, it was just a simple story, as in the story action, the premise didn't change, but as time passed, I added more and more layers to it because I wanted it to be very meaningful for the audience as well. I didn't want it to end on a very light and breezy tone because that's not the kind of writing I particularly enjoy myself. I wanted to be meaningful, I wanted to be intense and deep. And so the first draft that I wrote was like again a year back, and then I worked my way through it, adding layers, meaningful layers, which I think impacted the storytelling and the visuals of it in a good way. So yeah, the target audience of my film is just observant people. Observant as in who want to sit through the mundane things, who enjoy mundane things. I mean in a good way. So that's why a couple of scenes, and when you watch the film, you'll hopefully observe it has a attention to detail to it. So that's a starter to begin with. And the USP, I think, is a different perspective on a thing which is not talked about enough, motherhood, which is viewed as a blessing, and it is a blessing, but the other side of it, like everything has another side to it. It's an, as I termed it, it's an existential take on motherhood. So I think that has not been talked about enough according to what I have seen till now. So I wanted to make something which is not talked about, and also which connects to the audience in a better way. For the promotion and distribution plans for this film, as a first time filmmaker, I'm still learning. I mean, I take one step at a time. But promotion definitely, I'll definitely try it in my college, and I'll definitely try to reach as many people as I can through film festivals and through my story itself. I think story is the main spine here, because like if the story connects to the people, then I guess it's a good sign for the team. So audience doesn't need to. So for the audience, I hope they watch the film and I hope they like it. But again, coming back to the same point, I think it's a different perspective than from what we have been taught, and it's a double-edged sword, to be honest. I wouldn't term it as something. It's a universal thing, motherhood. So yeah, there are mothers all over the world. So the audience should watch this film because it offers a different perspective, a different vision of life and motherhood itself. And I think it offers something much more much more deeper, and maybe on the dark side though. It offers a different perspective, as I previously mentioned, and it also, and my genuine efforts have been in creating something which connects and is meaningful, because there's a lack of meaningful content in the world right now, and I think it offers it offers something which you can think of even when the film is over, and you can have your own interpretation of it, and you have your own meaning of it. And to emerging filmmakers, I consider myself as an emerging filmmaker because it's my first time. But the only thing I've learned till now is to just go for it. Even if you have the budget, even if you don't have the budget, just just get on with it, because like delaying it, sometimes delaying it works in my case, because like I felt the story I felt the story was good, and I wanted to give it time and work on it. But if you think you have all, if you feel it's a gut feeling. If you feel it, you have the right stuff, you have the right people with you, and you have the right story to work on, then you should just go for it, and just delaying it won't help, and just going for it and trusting yourself and your team would be the best choice I have learned till now. And teamwork is the best thing required for the completion of a film, and yeah, that's it.